A lot of Canadians have an anti-China bias, and I don't blame them. Canadians have been seeing bad China headlines for many decades. News, TV, movies, everything has a negative slant on China. Everyone has something bad to say about China. With Carney in Beijing right now, a lot of Canadians are speaking up. How can we be trading with China? China is so evil. China is so this. I've been hearing from Canadians that say China is the biggest polluter in the world. They consume the most coal. But they don't know that China is actually the leader in renewable clean energy, wind and solar. It's part of the reason why China has been able to reduce the pollution in their cities by a miraculous amount. I hear Canadians say, Mark Carney, how could you go talk in Beijing? Don't you know China is doing a G-side in Xinjiang? But Canadians don't know that the Uyghur population in Xinjiang keeps going up. The Uyghur script is on Chinese money. The Uyghur culture is preserved. And Uyghur factories use very advanced machinery for labor. They don't know that the people reporting on the G side, they're sourcing each other. Circular sourcing. No direct evidence. Canadians say, how dare you work with China? China kidnapped our two Michaels. But they don't know that the Michaels were essentially spies and that it was a tit-for-tat move because Canada put Huawei's princess Meng Wanzhou under house arrest at the behest of Americans. Just like how Canada put a 100% tariff on electric vehicles from China. Why did they do that? It's not for the benefit of Canadians. This is at the behest of Americans. And Americans have a lot of pull in Canada. Americans own a lot of the media that Canadians consume. Americans' military might and our huge border means that when push comes to shove, oftentimes Canada needs to back down. From my estimate, I would say like 70% of Canadian conservatives have an anti-China view, and maybe 30-40% of Canadian liberals have an anti-China view. The media uses they weaponize compassion to tug at the liberals' heartstrings, and then they frame China as a very cunning and devious, ambitious competitor that wants to swallow everything to make the conservatives go into fear. Taking a quick scroll through Twitter, I can see lots of Canadians saying, oh no, Canada's becoming communist. Well, China is socialist with a capitalist hybrid system. So capitalism thrives in China, but billionaires cannot influence politics. Billionaires cannot influence the government. Xi Jinping says, if you want to work in government, you want to change society, then work on society. If you want to get rich, then go get rich. But you can't do both. And I think that's a very healthy system. So there's no need for Canadians to fear that China is importing communism to Canada. In fact, if you're so scared of our government losing integrity, then wouldn't you be more worried about these threats of us becoming the 51st state? I don't want that. I want Canada to stay Canada. A lot of the ideological communism fear-mongering against China is from the ultra-rich capitalists who want to exploit the middle class, and they're convincing you that you're not an exploited worker. I know people are also ragging on Carney because Carney used to say China is the biggest foreign interference threat to Canada. And I would guess that he probably said that for the election. And he probably said that because that's the American line. That's the line from America that it sends to all its vassal states. America with CIA and NED operations all over the world, 800 military bases all over the world. America is the biggest foreign influence and power. From soft power to hard power, America did very well. But now America is entering into this era of might makes right, much more obviously than before. I would say America has always operated on might makes right, but now it's painfully obvious to even American friends and allies. The Chinese remember America operates on might makes right. The Taiwanese Chinese remember too, the ones paying attention, because we see the game that is being played. Don't you think it's funny that The news talks about how China is always collapsing and it's so weak, but at the same time, China is taking over the world and China is operating secret police stations in Canada. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. It's just throwing crap at the wall to see what sticks. What sticks when it comes to anti China propaganda?